What's good, everybody? It's waba, and yeah, 3.1 patch notes are here. You know, let's just go right into it. There's a lot of stuff coming for Abyss League, and you know, we'll see how it goes. All right, let's just dive right into it. If you want to check them out yourself, I will put the link in the description down below. It is also the #1 post on Reddit as of recording this, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. The main things that I'm actually like super concerned about are the buffs and the nerfs. Moreover, the nerfs, because there are some builds that I really enjoyed playing. I am concerned that it will be under the or in the sights of GGG's nerf hammer. Anyway, a little bit about War for the Atlas. Mysterious entity known as only as the Elder haunts at the Atlas of Worlds, spreading decay and battling the Shaper for control. For more information about War for the Atlas, check out pathofexile.com/war. Fantastic. 32 new maps. That's quite a bit of maps. That's quite a few maps. 2 new unique maps, and let's see, added new boss fights with the Elder and his 4 guardians. So these are going to be Shaper and Shaper Guardian-esque, but I believe they're going to be tiered kind of the way that the Rigwald encounter was. So you're going to have a white map tier, a yellow map tier, and then a red map tier. Add a new quest, the Queen of the Sands. The quest can be obtained by talking to Pteris and Vanja in Act 9 after completing the prerequisite quest, the Stormblade. The Book of Skill quest reward for completing the Stormblade has been moved to the Queen of the Sands. Damn, was hoping for one more passive point. The Stormblade now rewards players with their choice of several rare weapons. Whatever. 48 new unique items. Some of them are pretty cool. All right. We haven't seen them all yet, but pretty cool so far. 6 new divination cards. We're just getting more and more divination cards at this point. And I don't know. It's whatever. See, new dexterity, intelligence skill gem unearthed. We've already looked at this. Cremation. Especially if you've been following it. I know I haven't put any videos out there about these new skills, but they definitely do exist. So I would suggest looking into those as well. Let's see. I'm gonna close some tabs here because I really just want this to go away. What does it take to get this to minimize? There we go. So cool. The Abyss Challenge League stuff in here, but you know what? Let's just cut right to the bullshit. Let's cut through the bullshit. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Skill balance. Fantastic. So existing vulnerability skill gems are now Despair gems. Despair curses all targets in an area, making them less resistant to chaos damage and causing them to take increased damage over time. Cursed enemies also take additional chaos damage when hit. There's a new red skill gem called Vulnerability. I'm curious about Despair a little bit. I didn't really think about this yesterday, but the cursed enemies also take additional chaos damage when hit. That works for everything, not just attacks, I'm assuming. And also, I anticipate that we're going to see this on map mods as well. Cool. Your minions and their minions will no longer deal or take damage while you are dead. So, see you later, AFK dead Shaper Killer. Dark Pact no longer gains bonus radius when using your life. Damage bonus from using your life grows less quickly as the gem levels up, dealing 76% more damage at level 20, down from 95%. That's a pretty big nerf. It's pretty big. Detonate Dead now deals spell damage based on the level of the skill gem, in addition to damage based on the corpse's maximum life. The base fire damage dealt by the spell part of the explosion has been significantly increased. The skill now gains additional area of effect radius as it levels, and its base critical chance has been increased from 5 to 6%. The cast time has been lowered. Detonate Dead might be really fun to play again, and maybe something worth looking into if you want to try something a little bit different. Ray Spectre now also grants additional accuracy to Speckers based on the level of the gem. This is actually a really big nerf, as I understand it, because as a minion build, your minions have absolute terrible like accuracy rating. Of course, this is only to specters. We don't see anything, any additional accuracy to things like Raging Spirits or and the other ones. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. See, Dark Pact now counts as being a minion skill gem and will thus interact with effects such as the one found on Cloak of Tamir Isley, which is, you know, whenever you kill something, it drops magic items identified, which is pretty cool. Let's kind of go through it, look for ones that are pretty big. I think this is really big. Arctic Armor's chilling effect now slows enemies by 30% when you are hit, up from 10%. That's pretty good. I would like to say that I want to start using Arctic Armor more because I believe it is very, very good. One of the items that I actually have some plans of potentially making a build with is the Perfect Form. Pretty good piece of gear, and it gives you free Arctic Armor. So this is actually a pretty big buff to Arctic Armor, in my opinion. Let's see. Great. Blade Fall's area of effect was wider than intended. Okay. Charge dash is now limited to a maximum of 15 strikes per skill use, as well as limited by distance traveled. Charge dash is a meme. Static strikes radius has been increased from 19 to 20, bringing its total radius to 24 at level 20. Static strikes explosion now correctly applies ailments with 40% less effect. It was previously applying ailments without taking the less damage modifier into account. I don't know how good Static Strike's damage was because the AoE was so cancer. So yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like that was a little unnecessary. GGG, but okay. Well, I mean, obviously, if it was supposed to only apply it at 40%, then yeah, it wasn't working as intended. That's essentially a bug. So fixing that is cool. Whatever. Ice Crash has been increased. Ice Crash's radius has been increased from 8 to 9 for the first stage, 16 to 18 for the second stage, and 24 to 26 for the third stage. Okay, so some radius increases. Oh, my boy Petty might like this. Reeves' radius has been increased from 17 to 20, bringing it up to 24 at gem level 20. All right. Oh, and Val Power Siphon's radius has been reduced to 70 units, down from 120. I don't really know how big of a deal that is for Power Siphon, but I'd imagine that might be pretty big. So yeah, this is the changes of the skills. The only things that I was really looking for, skill-wise, was this. That's it. That's not in there. I guess there are some other things that I was curious about. Not in there. Not in there as well. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about that. So let's look at some items that I was curious about. I think this is a pretty big one. Intimidate now causes enemies to take 10% increased attack damage rather than 10% increased damage. I actually don't really like that change. 10% more damage wasn't that big of a deal, and it was a nice benefit for spellcasters to use things that intimidated. Now, it's specifically for melee. Honestly, like this change feels like shit to me. Feels like shit. Okay. What else? What else do we have? Item balance. Divination cards. The locations, drop rates, and requirements for many divination cards have been reworked, in part due to the changes to the Atlas in this patch, and in part to better integrate divination cards into areas introduced into the Fall of Oriath. Cool. So they looked at that again. I think that's a good call. All right. Life regeneration mods have been slightly renamed and reordered as 2 higher tiers have been added. So you could get more flat life regen? Question. Life regeneration mods on rare items have been buffed across the board, with the existing highest tiers now granting 20 life per second. Existing items can be updated to these new values using divine orbs. Okay, great. When used on a belt, Essence of Insanity now grants 10% increased movement speed during Flask effect, up from 5%. Not bad. Atlas-only item base types can no longer be found in Valicide areas. Okay. Okay. I mean, all right. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. On to some of these big boy changes. Atziri's Acuity no longer instantly leeches life from critical strikes and instead grants Val Pact if you have dealt a critical strike recently. This does not affect existing versions of the item. That means we have goddamn legacy Acuities. That means I have... that means I have 2 pairs of Atziri's Acuities as standard. Hey! Legacy. We got him. We got him here, boys. Maybe I should divine these before this patch goes live. Anyway, Legacy Atziri's Acuities. Fantastic. Cool. All right. Witchfire Brew now creates a Despair Curse Aura on use. This affects all versions of the item. Cool. Doomfletch now adds 100% of physical damage as damage of a random element, down from 110%. No longer has critical strike chance, and instead has 12 to 16 to 20 to 24 added physical damage. Dividing an existing Doomfletch will change the added physical damage and the added damage of a random element, but will not remove the critical strike chance. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Bang. That's the one that I have. Adds an additional arrow. GG. I just need a 6-link it. It's 6-socketed already. Anyway, cool. So Doomfletch Prism, yeah, we talked about that. I talked about that in the Path of Nerfs video. It's a little bit of a tweak. While I understand a lot of these nerfs overall affected Doomfletch Prism builds, I still think that this was a little uncharacteristic of GGG to slightly modify Doomfletch a little bit. Although a lot of people have argued that the removal of crit on Doomfletch Prism is a really big deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal because the Doomfletch already has, let's see, it's a royal bow, if my internet would work. Everybody is spamming. Whatchamacallit right now. It's official. All right, whatever. That website's broken. Anyway, I don't think it's that big of a deal to remove the crit off of it. Okay, so Kongming's Stratagem no longer creates a smoke cloud when a socketed trap is triggered. Instead, grants the Fog of War skill, which creates a smoke cloud when any of your traps are triggered. The skill has a cooldown. Oh, that's interesting. Fog of War. I wonder if that's going to be applied to the other items that give you like smoke clouds, like Maloney's Nightfall and things like that. I'm sure it's in there. Lion's Roar now only grants knockback to melee attacks during Flask effect. Okay. Lycoside, that is how you say it. I believe. Lycoside. Chance to drop for monsters has been greatly reduced. This item was being used on a significant portion of melee characters across all levels as an extremely cheap way to get around accuracy requirements. I was actually quite surprised at how common Lycoside was and at how inexpensive it was. I thought it would be something more valuable. But whatever. Bisco's Collar. There's a lot of salt about this one. Chance to drop from monsters has been greatly reduced. You know, there are 2 ways to nerf it. Make it less accessible to people or to nerf the numbers on it. I have a feeling people don't like it when you just make it less accessible. Those websites still aren't working. So yeah, people are really happy about that. But you know, I think whatever. You know, I like Bisco's Collar. I'm gonna say it. I think it's a pretty cool item. You're sacrificing a lot for an amulet slot, but you're getting a lot. So yeah. Good on you, GGG. All right, Queen of the Forest now has 240% increased evasion rating. Talked about this in Path of Nerfs. You're not going to be as fast, cute dog. Sorry. Rise of the Phoenix, maximum fire resist grant has been reduced to 5% from 8%. Okay, life regeneration. Life regeneration has been increased to 15 to 20 per second from 6. LOL. And these changes can be divined. New versions also grant 40 to 60 life. This cannot be divined. Okay, the change to Rise of the Phoenix, I get a lot of people are butthurt about it. And honestly, I think that's one of the opinions that I have that people don't really like. By the way, while I'm on that subject, if you did not like the video about Path of Nerfs that I put out, if you actually watched it and you didn't like it, please let me know why you didn't like it. I actually kind of feel like it was a little boring of a video. I didn't have enough time to do it. I'm making sure I'm not going to do that anymore, but whatever. Let me know if you thumbs down it. You'd let me know so I could either see if it's just us disagreeing or something that I need to improve about my quality, or maybe both. I mean, honestly, I could probably improve my quality overall anyway. So, yeah. Omen of the Winds now allows Eyeshot to pierce 3 additional targets, down from 5. This can be divined. So just in case you're playing an Eyeshot build and you want to lose 2 projectile or 2 piercing projectiles, go ahead and divine that bad boy, because that makes any sense. Dancing Dervish, while Manifest Dancing Dervish is active, the Dancing Dervish now has a 25% chance to grant you a rampage kill when it hits a unique enemy. The minion created by this unique can no longer cross unwalkable gaps. These changes affect all versions of the item. I wish that sword was better than just a cool MTX transfer if you're using a two-handed weapon. I mean, you can use it to get rampage, but Visco's Leash is better. The Pandemonious. This is similar to the Arctic Armor change, and I think it's pretty big as well. Chilling effect now slows enemies by 30% when you are hit, up from 10%. These changes affect all versions of the item. Does Pandemonious say that? Hey, here we go. 5% crit chance. I guess that's a little low. Pandemonious. We'll skip ahead and we'll come back to that whenever that does load. All right, so the Baron now adds half of your strength to your minions rather than all of your strength. This affects all versions of the item. Rip. Dead Reckoning now correctly replaces number of skeleton warriors with skeleton mages when using Val summoned skeletons. Pretty cool. Death's Oath now properly updates its behavior when items, passives, or skills change it in some way. So I was not aware of this. Were people snapshotting Death's Oath? Is that how they were doing those cool little Hall of the Grandmaster montages? You're snapshotting it? Okay. Oxium clarified that freeze duration, not effect, is based on energy shield. The functionality has not changed. So it's just a wording change on that. Okay. So let's see. Let's look for the items that I was curious about. Kikazaru. Self-flagellation. Nope. So Kikazaru, self-flagellation, and Soul Mantle. Those were the ones that I was actually worried about. Nothing really changed for those. Just shaping up to be quite an alright patch, if you ask me. Let's see. So yeah, there's some other things. There's a lot of stuff here. Passive tree changes. Oh, this is actually pretty important. This actually does affect the build that I do like to play and that I will probably play after my support. And I believe that any support I would play would actually utilize this as well. Passive skills behind Mind Over Matter now grant 10% increased mana, down from 12. I anticipated that. 30% increased mana, down from 40. That's a little bit higher than I thought. And 40 flat mana, down from 100. That's actually pretty big. But like I said, again, in the Path of Nerfs video, that I just don't think that many people really prioritize those mana rolls. So this is actually going to give more value to those tier 1, tier 2 mana rolls on pieces of gear that you can get them on. Yeah, hematophagy, max life leech per second changed. Vitality Void, max life leech per second changed. Passive skills which previously granted increased melee physical damage while holding a shield now grant attack. I could do this. while holding a shield now grant increased physical attack damage while holding a shield. It is no longer restricted to melee. I can't remember. I did play a build recently. I can't remember what it was where that was annoying to me and it felt pretty bad. I can't remember what it was, but I wasn't using a melee skill. I don't know. That's interesting. But you know, it's a wording change that I think will also help overall. I think that's fine because the nodes where you take you know, you get damage while holding a shield, they all feel pretty shit. Like they feel pretty bad. So yeah. One of the best nerfs or buffs, yeah, one of the best buffs in the game. Removed one of the passives skills leading to the Ash Frosted Storm notable near the Scion. I wonder if they changed the values. I don't think they did. So you're going to have just a little 3-point cluster that's 8, 8, 16, and then 10% reduce elemental reflect. Unless one of them have more reduce elemental reflect damage. Whatever. Okay. So Ascendancy, balance changes. The only Ascendancy that they balance changed was Slayer. That's pretty surprising, to be completely honest. You could kind of say that Intimidate affected the champion. That is actually a change to the champion, but whatever. Let's check Pandemonius now. All right. Now we'll let it load. So yeah. Add a new, let's see, Labyrinth changes. Oh, Pantheon. Let's talk about Pantheon. Pantheon, the map bosses you are required to defeat to upgrade your Pantheon have, for the most part, changed. I think that's a little annoying, but you can see them on the map, so that's not that big of a deal. Shikari has been added to the Pantheon. Shikari. What is Shikari? Whatever. Oh, it's the boss. It's the boss that they added, right? Shakira. Shakira. Okay. Labyrinth balance. Added a new Dark Shrine effect that can only be found in the Eternal Labyrinth. Ooh. Wonder what that is. Changed requirements for some chests to appear. In general, chests should feel more rewarding and better suited for their level and difficulty. Okay. Increase the total amount of items found on average from silver chests. Silver chests felt pretty useless. Not that I've done a lot of lab, but they felt pretty useless. The helmet enchantment, which grants additional projectiles for barrage, has been removed from the Merciless Lab. Now it only grants one instead of two. Okay, cool. Zana League mods. My phone picked up okay, cool as okay, Google.
Here's what I found on the web.
Thank you, Google. So, level 2, Anarchy, 2 Chaos Orbs. Level 3, 3 Chaos Orbs, Bloodlines. Level 4, 3 Chaos Orbs, Beyond. Pretty normal. Level 4, Fortune favors the Brave, 3 Chaos Orbs. Select a Zana mod at random from those available from the device, including any mods you have not yet unlocked. That's pretty interesting. I kind of like that one. You're gambling a little bit. I think you would only really lose out if you get Bloodlines or Anarchy. Otherwise, it's just the same, right? Because how many? It's 3 Chaos Orbs. So as long as you hit Beyond and the other ones, you kind of it's kind of all right. So I like the addition of this. So. And because you could get mods that you have not yet unlocked. I think that's actually really awesome because it felt really, really bad to not have access to breaches because you didn't have level 8 Zana. But this will let you do it. I feel like everyone's going to use Fortune favors the Brave because, well, let's see. You want Breach? Yeah, you want. Okay. Domination, you want. Ambush, you want. Beyond, you want. So what I would imagine you would do is you want to just make sure as many maps as possible have Beyond rolled on them. So this makes rolling Beyond more important. Might make alt regaling much more important. And then you, because of the way essences work, I don't know how valuable essences are going to be, but for 4, 5 mods, see, ambush, essence, breach, no, ambush, domination, breach, and beyond. It's 4 mods. you have a pretty good chance of Fortune Favors the Brave just working out pretty well for you. I'm curious to see what the pro players really think about this, but I anticipate this being something that a lot of people will start using immediately. And it's only level 4, which is pretty cool. So yeah, level 5, Ambush, level 6, Domination, level 7, Essence, and level 8, Breach. Cool. With all corresponding prices. All right, well, see, prophecy changes. Rare monsters able to fulfill the requirements for unique item prophecies have been added to various locations throughout the world. They provide the opportunity to obtain an item with high enough level to be 6-linked. No, that's right, because items got their item level changed. You are no longer required to have the subject of a Fey unique prophecy equipped. You can now complete such prophecies by merely holding the unique item in your inventory while killing the correct boss. That's pretty cool. The prophecy, the twins, which turns a non-twin map into a twin map, no longer grants 6% increased quantity of items found. I didn't know that did that. Okay. The prophecy, monstrous treasure, now completes upon opening the final strong box in the area. Cool. Cool. And a bunch of bug fixes. And yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about these patch notes. I feel like the builds that I was really interested in dodged a bullet. I do. Because Kazru, Soul Mantle, Self-Flagellation. It's good. It's okay. It's not that good. All right. It's fine. Maybe you should try it out. It's okay. It's not that great. You know what? It's actually kind of shit. You give up 2 ring slots, and it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about in the comments down below. I got some legacy acuities. Am I a billionaire now in standard? All right, cool. All these changes. I'm super excited for Abyss League. I'm going to be making a guide for a build in the next couple days. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you later. Oh, catch me on my stream, twitch.tv/wabacha. Add me in game, wabacha. Cool. See you guys.